The World's Greatest Warrior opens on a missing apostrophe in worlds. It should be The World's Greatest Warrior, because we're only concerning ourselves with one world and who the greatest warrior in that world is. Like, this is a kid's cartoon, and while I understand there's little educational value in the Street Fighter cartoon than just kinda yelling,
discipline, justice, commitment,
when it's convenient to the plot or you need to quickly gloss over some heavy lessons to be learned, can you maybe try harder than not at all when it comes to properly titling your episodes? Maybe? Can you? Please? Especially since on the DVD menu they titled the episode The World's Greatest Fighter. They remembered the apostrophe in worlds but fucked up the last word of the title. Anyways, The World's Greatest Fighter opens on Akuma visiting Gouken, Ken and Ryu's master. Despite not making it into an official Street Fighter game until Street Fighter IV, Gouken was referenced pretty far back, as early as 1993 in a Street Fighter manga, which is what his appearance here is based off of. They kinda give a brief little history about the nature of their fighting style that mostly just makes it sound like incomprehensible gibberish.
Each student is different, so the teacher must choose students of opposite character.
Something about the students needing to be complete opposites because being so different makes them stronger or something. I don't know, it's stupid. We learned Gouken and Akuma are brothers, which probably wasn't as commonly known in 1996 the way it is in 2019, so that's a pretty cool revelation. Gouken keeps horrifyingly creepy paintings of Ken and Ryu in his dojo, which I'm absolutely sure are cursed in some way. Look at these things! Ryu looks like some kind of weird Frankenstein monster, and Ken, well, I mean, I guess he doesn't look as bad here as he does in Street Fighter V, but still, ugh! Speaking of the bodacious boys, they're actually not far from Gouken's dojo. Ken's having himself a little street fight with the village's local champion. It's a complete squash, though. Poor guy's a 0 on the Crawdad scale, which, to be fair, puts him on par with Mike friggin' Hager, so... Ah! Damn it! Sorry, I'm still a little salty Hager got jobbed out like that last episode. In a really bizarre interruption of the fight, Akuma floats down from the sky, carrying Gouken, drops him from like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 stories, it's hard to tell. And at the same time, Ryu catches Gouken while Ken's attempting a jump kick on his opponent, so he ends up jump kicking Ryu instead. Also, the fight was never really resolved, but, I mean, let's face it, this guy was never going to win, but he was robbed of the opportunity to gain some Crawdad currency and boost his rating. Truly, what might have been. Akuma revealed that he has defeated Gouken and sapped his chi, and then challenges Ken and Ryu to battle at dawn. It's good to see that Akuma's learned his lesson from last season. If you defeat the both of them, it's an overall greater net gain of chi energy for Akuma. It's just plain and simple math!
The numbers don't lie, and they spell disaster for you as sacrifice!
Although I do miss stupid Scarf Akuma running around making a mess. Then we're treated to a flashback which really only reveals that Akuma was always an asshole.
I learn nothing from you. I do not want to learn from you. You're only fit to live in a monastery, but my domain is the entire world.
Apparently, if Akuma's defeated, all the chi he's captured using the Raging Demon will be released, and it's kind of a big deal because Gouken's feeling a little near death, and without his chi, he probably won't recover?
He needs the ancient medicines.
What are they gonna rub some fucking crystals on him or something? And what makes this even better is that since all this started, like, there's still a crowd that was there for the street fighting. And they've just been watching this whole time.
Dead. And Akuma could be invincible.
Oh yeah. You ought to give that there Akuma guy a stiff kicking, so you should. Then we take another trip to Flashback City. Ken and Ryu's earlier days training together. All it did was explain the differences between Ken and Ryu, but like, if you've watched this cartoon, you already know. Ryu's dedicated and a hard worker, but maybe a little too serious and kind of a pushover, while Ken's naturally talented and carefree at the expense of being a complete scumbag. They train just long enough to realize Ryu's kind of injured in the shoulder area, and then Akuma just kind of shows up and apparently it's go time. He does reference back to last season's finale too, which is pretty cool.
I once fought Guile and Bison through illusion, Ryu. But for control of our tradition, this battle must be man to man.
You left out the part where he ran away when Guile hit him with a sonic boom, but details. It's fine. It's fine. Akuma starts by wrapping Ken in some kind of magic plastic bag or something. Then he fights Ryu and handily wins, stealing his chi. And we actually get to see what stealing chi looks like. Show us that raging demon, Akuma.
Now your chi is mine!
Wait, that was it? I'm assuming that's not the cartoon Raging Demon, because if it is, that's just sad, and I don't want to be sad right now. Just for reference, this is what a Raging Demon is supposed to look like.
Fool!
Ken's turn, and I gotta give props where they're due. The fighting in this episode, it isn't half bad. Considering a third of the world's greatest fighter is an extended fight scene, you'd hope for more actual fighting, and they did fine on delivering it. Better than most episodes, at least. Ken mounts a good offense early, worthy of Akuma's praise when he says,
Very good, student. Your style is a fine blend of tradition and thuggery.
which surprised me a whole lot because I didn't know thuggery was such a problem in the FGC, even way back in 1996, but hey, here we are, over 20 years later.
There's gonna come a point when you forget about what happened, and you're gonna wanna come back at me, and you're gonna wanna wash the taste of my dick out of your mouth.
Thuggery. Akuma hits back much harder, and all Ken really has as a response is literally throwing a glob of mud in Akuma's face, and it's hilarious.
I'm whole, and you, for all your power, are not.
You might not be able to defeat Akuma, but if you humiliate him, who really wins, like? And then they do big speech that you can ultimately summarize as, "You let your greed for power blind you from enlightenment." The real Street Fighter were the friends we made along the way. Ken do big power and he friggin' wins! Ken just punched the ghosts right out of Akuma's body. The world's greatest fighter wasn't a reference to Akuma. It was a reference to Ken. To Ken! Fucking kill me. Akuma is defeated but escapes. Everyone gets their chi energy back. Ken reigns supreme at the top of the Street Fighter cartoon tier list. And I sink deeply into an abysmal depressive state, the likes of which I may very well never recover from.
Now, if you've still got my winnings from last night, buddy, let's get back to town. I am so stoked right now. I hate to think of those poor babes being deprived of me this way.
Fuck Ken. Next time on Street Fighter.
Okay, look, I haven't watched ahead and I haven't recorded any footage, so next episode's called So You Want to Be in Pictures, so...
We await your return, warrior.